Okay, Rachel, let me show you something you only ever find on a Hong Kong action movie set.
Strange powder. I think you find some on Hollywood sets too.
That is true. However, this is a special kind of powder. We call it power powder. Powder in Cantonese is...
Fun.
So this would be...
Power fun.
Exactly right. The way this is used is in an action scene, you would sprinkle this on your fist or your foot and on the target that you were hitting. Now there's no reason that when you hit somebody, loads of white particles would spin in the air. But for some reason it works, so we use it. For the purpose of this demonstration, Ajay's fist is going to play the fist, and Alay's pad is going to play the target of the fist. So we're sprinkling on the power powder. Meanwhile, we will stand well back. Anytime you're ready, Shirful. And... strike!
Whoa, I don't think I've seen so much white powder in the air since Aerosmith last toured.
Right, well that's why they call it...
Power fun!
Rachel, when you think of Hong Kong movie action, what's the first word that comes to mind?
Pain.
Okay, what's the second word that comes to mind?
Wires?
Exactly.
Like with the flying around stuff?
Well, that's the obvious use of wires. But a Hong Kong fighter ranger can use them in a fight sequence in a way that you'd barely even notice. For example, I would like you to jump up in the air and kick a Hao 3 times in the chest without landing.
Okay.
Come on, get up there, Tinkerbell. Higher, 3.
Who do you think I am? Chun-Li?
Less lippy, more kicky. Okay, stop. So from this we can see you probably can do 3 kicks, but by yourself you don't have the hang time in the air to deliver 3 clean front kicks to Hao's chest. But you would if you were on the wire.
Is it safe?
Absolutely. Look at this. Solid nylon. Spun steel cables. Are you ready? Guys, strap her in. You feeling hung up? All right. Look at the back here. As you see, safely attached to the harness, and the wire goes up, 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 through the hook and eye at the top there, and then down to the 2 burly gentlemen over there. And those guys are the guys that can help you lift off the ground. Depending how heavy you are, is how many people we need to pull the wires.
I find it disturbing that I need 2.
Don't feel so bad. For Sammo Hung, we had to clear out the nearest village.
That's mean.
Only if you're a villager. You ready? Good job, Rachel. That was awfully easy to me. I bet you couldn't do 3 side kicks on a Hao.
I bet I can.
Let's see. Hey, good work. Your first time on the wires?
Yep.
And she knew no fear. Amazing. Now, of course, today, after shooting a scene like this, we'd remove all the wires digitally using CGI. But in the glory days of Kung Fu cinema, they had none of that technology. So if they wanted to hide the wires, they had to paint them white or blue, if they were shooting out of doors, or at night or indoors, paint them black with a marker pen, like this one.
Would that work?
Amazingly, if you look at the old films, you hardly ever see the wires. There's yet another method I've yet to show you. Come this way. Let me show you how we use the Vaseline.
What rating is this show?
There are many uses of Vaseline, beyond the obvious one. But what they would do in the old days is, to cover up the wires, they would take some Vaseline and rub it on the top of the frame, like this. And then you wouldn't see the wires at all.
With this much Vaseline, even you could look handsome.
I won't go that far. Not bad. You see, with a special dose of Hong Kong movie magic, you're kicking, punching, flipping, flying. Even you look,
Totally awesome.
well, acceptable is the phrase I would probably use, but still there's something missing.
The appreciative applause of the audience.
Nope.
Sweet and sour popcorn.
Still no.
Those incredible kung fu sounds.
You are right.
Just like this.
So Rachel, do you know what this wet towel is for?
Does the studio leak?
Well, yes, but we were asked not to mention that. This is for that nice crisp sound you hear whenever there's a kick or a punch in a Hong Kong kung fu movie. Look on the screen. Now, listen. Here, you try. That's it. There's no zap, unless you snap.
Hey, and that's your lunch, I presume?
Well, maybe later. This is for an extra kind of thwack that you might need. Rachel, hold my meat.
If I must. Oh, the things I do for fame!
And money. Okay, when you want a good rib shot, you want to make the noise like that and hit it like that. And Rocky's got nothing on me. You get that nice thwacking sound. Okay, put it back. Why aren't you a vegetarian?
I love meat.
Okay, now, you know what these are for?
It's heavy metal.
Indeed it is. There's another great genre of Hong Kong action filmmaking, and that's the swordplay film. Take a look on the screen. When they clash, you bash.
Okay.
So when I go there, all they want to talk about is kung fu movies.
Well, for most of my friends, the first Chinese movie they saw was Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon.
Right, which is technically a swordplay film and not a kung fu movie.
See, you can tell the difference, but how can a normal person like me tell?
Okay, well, in a kung fu film, the fighters, even though it's exaggerated, they use movements that somebody might conceivably train themselves to be able to do. In a swordplay film, they tend to have more supernaturally enhanced powers.
Like with the flying around the tree stuff?
Right. Another difference was, in the old days of Shaw Brothers, on a swordplay film, you'd have much more blood flying around. And that blood would be a unique red colour, a colour not found in nature.
So what was it made of?
I'm glad you asked me that question.
Because you know the answer?
No, because I know a man who does. Behind door number 3, Uncle Mike's House of Horrors. Hey, Mike.
Hey, mate.
So look at this stunning collection of obscure oddities we have here in the basement. So Rachel, give us a CSI moment. From all the items laid out on the bench here, what can you tell us about Mike?
Okay. Well, from what's here, obviously Mike's a very scary guy.
And proudly so.
Cornstarch, food coloring. Mike likes to cook, and in a colorful manner. I like that. Let's see. Cough syrup. Mike has a cold. Hope you feel better. Condoms. Mike practices safe sex. Good for you, Mike.
Not bad. Mike, why don't you tell us what this stuff is really all about?
Sure, Bay. Let's start with the cough syrup. Cough syrup is our blood base. It's what makes up the body of the blood and holds our pigment. Food color is what gives us the redness, but it's not quite enough. So we add some cornstarch, and that gives us our opacity, so that you can't see through the blood and it doesn't look like raspberry syrup.
Okay, Mike, now I may regret asking this, but what do you do with those condoms?
Condoms are an effects guy's go-to blood bag. Easy to get, every corner store has them, and they're long, but they're not bulky like a Ziploc bag. So it's a lot more convincing when you rip one open.
Things I thought I'd never need to know. Mike, how do you fill a condom full of blood?
Like they use one of these big-ass syringes.
So, after all of that, do you actually have any Shaw Brothers blood you can show us?
Funny you should ask, Bay. I have some right here.
Ugh. Yummy. Why is it so red?
Well, Shaw Brothers was selling the Technicolor experience, so all the colors had to pop. The sky had to be bluer, the Emperor's robe was more yellow, and the blood had to be more red.
Especially the blood.
So Mike, what say we take some of this Shaw Brothers color blood, put it in a condom, and recreate the way they used to do a sword cut back in the old days?
Sure, Bay. I think we should do that outside.
Why?
Because if we do it in here, I'll spray all over you.
He says that to all the girls.